parent who studied science at university, and I want my children to have the same sort of opportunities I did. I don't think science at school is particularly exciting, so I look out for interesting opportunities in the community to come and see real scientists at work.
I'm volunteering here at the Oxford Open Doors at the DNA Bracelet Stall. So our project at that table is to kind of explain what DNA is and kind of give a visual representation of it in the form of very stylish bracelets made of beads, as you can see here. So it's a really good way of explaining kind of the basis of all living things, and it's something that's kind of essential to everything.
For the general public, this is important because they're asked day on day to donate to charities, and they have an absolute right to see how this money is spent and to see what's discovered. And we definitely must be doing these sorts of functions.
We were just looking for somewhere to bring some very small children to keep them entertained, something that would be interesting for us as well. They were very interested in the bug making area with the pipe cleaners, and we got them doing the beads, the DNA beads for a while, and so they even sat still during the lecture and mostly kept quiet, so I thought there must have been something there that caught their attention for a while.
I think it's important to advertise what we're doing, to talk about our work within the Jenner Institute. We're trying to develop vaccines for a number of different diseases within the Institute, and it's important to get that out there into the public to educate people, especially educating children, which a lot of what we're doing today is, it's fun things for children, making mosquitoes and things like that, because they've all been through the vaccination schedule. They're getting vaccinated, and it's important to make them aware of why we're doing this, just so that they have more awareness on what the scientists are actually doing.
It was really fascinating to see all the instruments and everything else, because I haven't really talked about it with my son to any great degree.
We're still at the end of the outbreak when we're starting the trial. We really need to push it forward, still by a few weeks.
So I think this is really good for all ages, especially A-levels. I think that's the stage where students are having to decide what they want to do, and I think science is quite a scary thing to get into, and maybe if they didn't like their science classes, or that can really put people off, but I think it's really important to kind of show the fun side of it and the career progression. And when I was at that age, it was events like this and kind of getting exposed to actual researchers that kind of got me excited about choosing that path and deciding to go into biology or biochemistry at that age. And I think you need that encouragement, because I think a lot of people are put off by how hard science is, and it is hard to do, but I think it's really rewarding, especially when you get to give back at events like this.
Yes, I learned about HIV through a really interesting game about how the HIV constantly mutates and how the researchers here are trying to constantly stay one step ahead of that. And so I also learned more about DNA with making the bracelet. And the talk about Ebola was really interesting, because of course that's been on the news a lot lately. And it was just interesting to see people actually doing the work rather than just hearing the sensational news reports about how it's all, the end of the world's coming. And it's good to know that people are out there doing research. It does have a lot of activities here that are child-oriented, but I think it also helps adults learn. I mean, who doesn't like playing with Lego and kind of all sorts of toys from your childhood that helps you learn if you perhaps don't know much about science more than what you learned at high school? So I think it's targeted at the kids, but really the adults like it. I know I liked it a lot too.